Dear friends, to understand our own character, it is very important to know our own core self. In this lecture, we will try to understand how to get our core self revealed to ourselves. The contents of this lecture are derived from the two books that are displayed on the screen. Happier, written by Professor Tal Ben-Shahar of Harvard University, and Character Strengths and Virtues. This is a handbook prepared by non-profit organization Virtues in Action. This project was led by Professor Christopher Peterson, and overall director of this program was Professor Martin E. P. Seligman of Pennsylvania University. It is very important to know the core self. The core self comprises of our deepest and most stable characteristics. That's why this is called as the character. Strong feelings in and of themselves are insufficient to sustain love. It may be love for the education, it may be love for the work or in the relationships. We feel love for some reasons. It is not without reason. These reasons are not accessible very easily. Unless we make efforts, it is not possible to understand the exact reasons many times. Everyone in his or her life have found out. Every adult person will definitely acknowledge to this fact. One must find them deliberately by thinking. Unconditional love is very important for the growth of personalities. Unconditional love is there when steadfastness, intensity and warmth of a person is there as the reason for love. When a person is looking for wealth, power and fame, that is conditional love, and that is not conducive for the cultivation of good characteristics. The character will not be that strong, the love will not last. Unless unconditional love is there, a relationship cannot flourish, whether it is with education, work or in the personal life. I wish the students to take a creative pause and try to find out what characteristics make up your core self. The Virtues in Action website, that is AuthenticHappiness.org. The screen shows my first 4 characteristics. See, if you are answering to the questions, 240 questions in Virtues in Action Strengths Finding survey by registering yourself on that website, you will get your 24 character strengths prioritized. If one is trying to have his education program, his work life or his relationship which are in tune with the first characteristics, the characteristics which are highly correlated to his or her personality, then definitely the possibility that he is true to his core self or true to his character in all his dealings will be much more, and I wish one should take the benefit of this facility given by this non-profit organization. On the slide, all the 24 characters are displayed, 6 virtues which will be catering to all these 24 characters, and one has to plan one's work life or educational life looking at what are the top characters. There are many advantages of work. Many times we are not able to understand these advantages of work. Work not only transforms the environment by building bridges across rivers and cultivating barren plains, but work also transforms the worker from an animal-guided instinct into a conscious, goal-directed and skillful person. See, if somebody is not going to work, how to spend the time sometimes is really very difficult. It is possible only for a self-disciplined individual to concentrate on the work and to make best use of the time. Work provides this opportunity to everybody. Work provides the opportunity to put our energies in a constructive way so that not only the person who is working but the people around him all are get benefited. Creating psychological space is very essential. The circle of creativity is a space in which children can take risk, they can try things out, fall, stand up, fail and succeed. Everybody has gone through this process. When we were talking for the first time, when we were trying to walk for the first time, our mother was close to us, but she was not helping directly. We were in our circle of creativity. They feel secure and safe in the presence of a person who loves them unconditionally. So loving unconditionally is one of the prerequisites to create the psychological space. The knowledge that we are loved unconditionally creates a psychological space of safety and security. This psychological space can be created at the educational institutions. This can be created in the workplaces. These are always present in the family life. So it is very important that psychological space should be created at the workplace and at all other places so that we make our societal living joyful. When someone is really loves me, what is the characteristic that I understand that he loves me? See, if you are able to express your core self without fear, then the person you are trying to communicate loves you. This is one of the best features. We can always look at this thing and see that whether the person who is close to me is trying to love me or not. Just as meaning and pleasure, future and present benefits are essential for sustained happiness at school, at work, even in family. They are essential for a happy relationship, and these can be cultivated in all happy relationships. The conflict of future and present will always be there. It is sometimes necessary to forego present benefit for the sake of future goals. Spending too much time living for the future will ultimately lead to failures in the relationship, and this is the character of rat racer. One must always try to avoid to go away from the rat racer. At the other extreme is hedonist. Hedonist is only interested in living in this moment without caring for a long-term purpose. So that also is not very good way. If we are trying to live in the circle of creativity and trying to maximize the benefits of the present moment, definitely we are giving justice to our true core self. One must be true to his core self to benefit from the present moment. Hedonist mistakes lust for love. A proper evaluation will correct this mistake, and it is very essential that we should deliberately try to understand the difference between lust and love, and if you are able to differentiate between lust and love, many failures will be avoided. The hedonist pleasure inevitably fades because it is in living in the moment. There is no long-term purpose. Meaningful foundation beyond immediate gratification is essential for all lasting relationship. To sustain happiness, one must be true to his or her core self. It is possible to be true to his or her core self if one tries deliberately. Disruption of flow has occurred in the workplaces because of the advances in the technologies, and now we have to take the help of the technology to stop this disruption. Throughout most of the Western world, arrangements conducively to flow were brutally disrupted by the invention of the industries. In the industries, it is really very difficult to find the flow when the operators of the industries are trying only for the material wealth, and they are not trying the right share of the profit to distribute to the workers. This had happened. Unless we make a correction, it is really very difficult to find the flow at the workplaces. So, the centralized factory system which spawned this disruption of the flow is to be corrected by putting proper measures. Young children were made to work till exhaustion, and the children were working among the indifferent and exploitative strangers. So it was very difficult to find them happiness in the work. If the enjoyment of the work had any credibility, it was lost in the frenzy of the industrialization. Now, with the new technologies and with the new understanding of human psyche, it is possible to put interventions at the workplaces so that most of the flow conditions can be restored, and majority of the workers will definitely be able to enjoy their work life. Job can be made enjoyable. Technological innovations can make the work environment enjoyable. The examples are electricity, silicon chip. The internet connected world has made the work enjoyable. Sometimes if you are in not very good physical shape, with the internet connectivity, you can work from home. Many companies give one day to work from home. This has happened, and this is very conducive to create the conditions of flow at work. In theory, any job can be restructured to make it more enjoyable by following the prescriptions of the flow model. Having clear goals, getting immediate feedbacks, and then try to correct the situation around. These are the flow model conditions, and we can incorporate by restructuring these at workplaces. I wish students should think about their past friendship, and even in friendship, all the time we are not in flow. So which conditions give you flow in the friendship? It is very important to see. What are the quadrants they fall under? Did the nature of relationship change over time? From hedonist, then to rat racer, then to happiness. The more and more we are approaching to happiness, we enjoy the friendships more. It is very important to understand the basics of help. Standing by one's friend or partner in time of the need should not be considered as a sacrifice. If it is considered as a sacrifice, then it is not conducive to the flow model. When we love someone, we often feel that helping that person is helping ourselves. This is the great complement of love, that one's self-interest expands and encompasses to his or her partner or a group of people. So in any successful company, you will find that the success of the owner and success of the workers, if it is one, then company is going to prosper. Swami Vivekananda's love for Indians was known. He could have a very good life at US after his success at Parliament of Religions. Instead of that, he chose to be a sannyasi, and he returned to India and worked for the poorest of poor in India for their upliftment. He was not considering helping them as helping himself. He was considering that when he was helping all others, he was helping himself only. It is difficult to distinguish between behavior that is sacrificial and helpful. We have to make intentional effort, deliberate effort to understand between sacrificial behavior and helpful behavior. Sacrifice is destructive in the long term, in the success of the relationship, whereas help is very conducive to the growth of relationship. A relationship is a transaction in the ultimate currency, that is well-being. Help is making this transaction visible to all others, and it is important that when we are giving help to your friend or a family member, you are thinking of your own well-being. If this is your visible concern, then that person will definitely be in a very good relationship with you in the long term. The relationship evaluated as equitable, the relationships which are evaluated as equitable are more likely to prosper. So here help is there, but equitable relationship is equally important. What is most important and challenging component of a happy relationship is that when you are helping your friend or counterpart, you are feeling that you are helping yourself. It is the cultivation of one chosen relationship that is more important. Many times we find that people are trying to find out one very good relationship in their life, and in entire life they are not possible to get even one relationship. So it is possible to cultivate whatever relationship you have with friends, with family members. You choose one relationship and deliberately cultivate that relationship. That will be one of the great relationships in your life. Unless we cultivate, it is impossible to get good relationships in life. Helping ourselves and helping others are not mutually exclusive possibilities. To understand this, we have to make a deliberate effort. It is one of the most beautiful compensations of this life that no man can sincerely try to help another without helping himself. This is Ralph Waldo Emerson's quote, and I like this quote very much, because when I am helping myself, I am always helping others. When I am trying to learn one subject and help the student to learn that subject, it is quite easy to understand that students are getting benefit, but I am getting more benefit. This is my experience in teaching life. The more we help others, the happier we become, the more inclined we are to help others. See, once we are helping others, we are deriving benefit. So now helping others is helping myself. When I help myself more, automatically I am inclined to help myself more, and others are getting the benefit of that help more. So this is an upward going spiral. We have to try to find this spiral and indulge ourselves in upward going spiral, helping ourselves as well as helping others. Helping others is always with some meaning and purpose. Contribution to others, people's happiness provides us with meaning and purpose. So, when I am helping others, I am getting meaning and purpose, and that is contributing to my well-being. Helping others is one of the essential components of every happy life. It is very difficult to find a happy life without helping others. If we do not take the pursuit of our own happiness as priority, we are hurting ourselves. By extension, our inclination to help others. So, when I am helping others, I am contributing to the well-being. That is one of the important elements of ultimate currency. Now, meaning and purpose. Now, these meaning and purpose are helping me to contribute to myself, and the actual help that I am providing to others is contributing into the relationship, contributing to his happiness. In turn, it is contributing to my happiness. If we all are empowered by acquiring the qualities of helping each other, definitely we shall be in a very good society and at very good workplace. Writing gratitude letters is very essential. A gratitude letter highlights the positive elements of relationship, past, present and future, thereby accentuates them. See, I wish that the students who are trying to understand the basics of this course make a concerted effort, make a ritual to write a letter, gratitude letter, to their parents, to friends, to teachers, to whoever has helped them. It is very important that we express our gratitude by writing in letter. And it is not only that we are writing what we want, but it should be with some objective. What exact feeling you felt was very valuable to you, that should be there in the gratitude letter. Optimal experience comes through backdoor. Many times we don't understand where from it is coming, but it comes. Optimal experience depends on the subjective evaluation of what the possibilities are for the action and one's own capacities. Unless I try to understand the possibilities of action and my own capacities to undertake those actions, I cannot experience the optimal conditions. So it is very important to deliberately try to find out the possibilities of action, and whenever the capacities are there with us, we must pursue them so that we benefit from the optimal experience. Quite often it is found that the individuals are discontented with even potentially great job. If a job is assigned to a person, he will make a great job provided he tries to understand the possibilities of action and his own capacities and contributes them. There are many examples in the history in which the same job, when was given to capable person, he transformed into a great job, and when the capabilities were not there, that job could not be transferred into a great job. So every student should try to see to it that he acquires the proper skills for undertaking the job he or she dreams. Once you have the skills, you can make that dream job give you maximum benefit. Unless those skills and knowledge is there, even if you get the opportunity, you may not be able to get the optimal experience that you intend to get. So this is giving you the idea that you become aware of the present circumstances, observe, collect the data, analyze the processes. You should have clarity and then make the proper decision, choice, so that you experience the optimal decision. What determines happiness? See, happiness is determined 50% by the set point. This is the observation of eminent psychologists. Intentional activity contributes to 40% and circumstances contribute only 10%. So, if you are trying to derive happiness, 90% of it is there which is beyond current circumstances, and 40% is in your own activities. So unless we undertake proper activities to get the optimal experience, we cannot experience the happiness in the work that we are trying to do. And set point, see, set point is genetically determined, and most of the positive psychologists have agreed that 50% is that component. Strategies to improve the life are very important. To improve the life, to improve the quality of life through work, two complementary strategies are necessary. Jobs should be designed so that they resemble as closely as possible to the flow activities, it will be also necessary to help other people to develop autotelic personalities by training to recognize opportunities for action. It has been found that there are some personalities, you put them in any job, they will always find joy in the job. They are trained to find the opportunities of enjoyment in any job that is given to them. Such personalities are called autotelic personalities. So if we look at the autotelic personalities, and if we are restructuring the job that is given to you, these two complementary strategies will definitely make an individual to improve the quality of his life, the work life as well as individual life. Neither one of these strategies is like to make work. See, but a proper combination of these two strategies will definitely be found each and every person to give him or her optimal experience. One should proactively strive to find the equilibrium in tune with his or her true core self so that the present work opportunity gives him the optimal experience. There is a paradox. Most of the research suggests that on job, people feel skillful, and when challenged, they feel happy, strong, they are creative and satisfied. When they are in free time, people feel that there is generally not much to, and their skills are not being properly utilized. They tend to feel weak, they tend to feel sad, they tend to feel dissatisfied. But the paradox is that they would like to work less and spend more time in leisure, even they are not enjoying the leisure. This is the paradox. So we have to correct the paradox to improve the quality of life. When it comes to work, people do not heed to the evidence of their senses. See, I am feeling flow at the work, but culturally I am not evaluating that as flow. So unless we correct this, it is very difficult for anybody to enjoy the work life. They disregard the quality of immediate experience. They base their motivation instead on the strongly rooted cultural stereotype of what the work is supposed to be like. Because prejudice against work is there, he is evaluating the enjoyment that he is getting at the work as not enjoyment. So we have to correct this by evaluating the perception properly. The people think that imposition, the work as imposition, as a constraint, as an infringement in his freedom, because at workplace you have to live 8 hours. So that is considered as infringement. But remember, the flow moments we are getting at work life. If we begin to enjoy the flow moments at the work life, definitely that cannot be treated as infringement. Moreover, you are enjoying at the workplace as well as once you become free, you plan proper activities of enjoyment in the free time. So both places, present benefit and future benefit. So flow model gives you very good ideas of how to enjoy the work. So it is essential that we evaluate the perception correctly and pay proper heed to our senses so that we are including more and more elements of the flow model in our everyday work life. The paradoxic worry, the apathy of many of the people around us is not due to their being physically or mentally exhausted. Actually, at work they are not physically or mentally exhausted, but because they are not able to form a proper relationship to their job, they are not able to enjoy the flow conditions of the job. So the problem of the modern worker is relation to his job. So with the way he receives the goals and relationship to it. Unless we correct this, this paradox cannot be removed. Many people consider their jobs as something they have to do, a burden imposed on outside. But most of the flow conditions are occurring at the job. So I request the students to understand that work is not a burden. Work is an opportunity to include maximum elements of the flow conditions. If we understand this opportunity and act upon this opportunity to benefit from it, it will be a great experience for everybody. So relieving stress is possible. There are many ways of relieving stress. There are hundreds of ways to relieve stress. some based on better organization, delegation of personality, responsibility, better communication with co-workers and supervisors. Others based on some external factors. You can have improved home life. So you are getting some present benefit at home, and automatically that happy mood you are bringing to the work. Slowly you are trying to get that happy mood in the work as well. So you come out of that paradox. Leisure patterns also can be properly formed so that in the work life you enjoy, if the workplace gives you freedom. Inner discipline like transcendental meditation are also very important. At the beginning of the day, if I am trying to concentrate on the work, before concentrating the work, I come in a very good mood by doing some transcendental meditation, then that will help in relieving the stress at the work, and the person will begin to enjoy the work as well as the education that he receives at the workplace. Relieving stress is very important. Free time is unstructured and requires much greater effort to be shaped into something that can be enjoyed. It has been found that most of the time when a person is given some free time and do some work, it requires great self-discipline to put that time into productive use. So one has to learn this. But work environment is giving you opportunity to put the time that you are spending there into good use. So why not include that in your self-discipline regime so that the work is also enjoyable. It is very easy for us, for everybody. Using leisure wisely is really very difficult. The future belongs not only to the educated man, but to the man who is educated to use his pleasure wisely. So, for the betterment in future, it is very important that whatever leisure that I have to use wisely, and I have to learn the techniques to use those elements of flow model to incorporate in the free time. Because every person who gets the free time enjoys this. This is not the case. Unless I evaluate the experiences at the work properly and try to get the possibilities of action, and I impose proper interventions so that I can improve the work life. It is not possible to use to enjoy the work life. In free time, I have to do large amount of effort so that I can use that time productively. Thank you.